Welcome back, guys. My name is Edwin Avalos, real estate agent for the Rafeh Group. On today's new episode of Pro Tip Tuesday, we're going to be discussing the difference between pre-qualification and your actual pre-approval letter. So I want to take some time to kind of just go over something that I've been encountering a lot, and something that my fellow real estate agents have been encountering a lot as well. And that's a difference between a pre-qualification letter and an actual pre-approval letter, right? So let's talk about the pre-qualification stage. It's actually the very first step that most buyers will actually take, and it's actually the one that will lead you into the pre-approval stage, right? So let's talk a little bit more about the pre-qualification, right? Because there is a big difference between the pre-qualification stage and the pre-approval stage. They both coincide with each other, and they are the very first steps that as a buyer that you will take. But let me discuss things a little bit further, because it is something that I have encountered myself with some of my clients, and as well as one of my fellow colleagues as well. So pre-qualification, right? So we have a client that comes in and says, hey, I'm actually pre-qualified. I took an application online and I'm ready to start shopping. Well, chances are it's not really a full pre-approval, pre-qualification and pre-approval letter, right? Because it's information that you as a consumer provided. There was no extra checks on documentation. There was no extra checks on your credit worthiness. It's pretty much information and data that you submitted to the lender or the application online, right? It doesn't hold much heavy weight when it comes down to actually submitting offers. It's more so they can give you an idea of what you can qualify for and what you can potentially get as an interest rate, right? Until the pre-qualification stage really does limit you in regards to actually being submitting an offer, just because, like I said, your information wasn't thoroughly verified by a lender. It wasn't thoroughly checked through the underwriting system, and it wasn't really verified to make sure that you could actually qualify for this amount. And it's more of an estimated amount, right? So pre-qualification, like I said, it's mainly just to get an idea of how much you could potentially qualify for, right? So the pre-approval stage, this is actually the very next step and most important step, because what's going to happen on this step is that you're actually going to be submitting documentation. Now that involves your pay stubs, taxes, bank statements, right? And you're actually going to be submitting also your credit history as well. So the lender is going to be able to look at all this information to be able to give you the exact numbers and how much you can actually qualify for, what your monthly mortgage will be, and you'll be even able to lock in your rate at the very moment in time as well, right? The pre-approval stage is the best step to be at. It tells the seller that you're ready, you're willing, and you're able to be able to submit that offer, right? So, and this very first step, as the pre-qualification step, it doesn't give you the weight that you'll need, but the pre-approval will give you that. Now, when we're always looking for that, so when you speak to your real estate agent, you say, hey, I am actually pre-approved. I've submitted all my information already. It lets us know that you're ready to go, right? Especially in today's market where it's very, very competitive, most sellers are not going to entertain an offer if we don't have a commitment from the buyer to be able to submit all their information over. It's pretty much they'll be able to they'll be taking a gamble on a pre-qualified buyer because we haven't been able to verify your information. And I guarantee you, most sellers, especially in this market, they're becoming very savvy, and they know the lenders, the real estate agents will advise them and say, hey, listen, this is a fully pre-approved buyer versus this is a pre-qualified buyer. And I guarantee you, chances are they're going to go with the pre-approved buyer because they have submitted all their documentation and are letting us know that they're ready to go. So it is very important, like I said, to speak with the lender and get kind of information as far as getting the pre-qualification going and kind of getting a ballpark estimate and see if this is the right move for you. And if it is, then definitely submit your documentation. Submit your taxes, submit your W-2s, your pay stub, whatever it is that you need to get that pre-approval that your lender requires. Submit it so that way you are ready to go. So now that you know the difference between a pre-qualification and pre-approval, please let us know. Give us a call if you have any more questions. I can't wait to see you guys next time. This is Edwin from the Rafeh Group. Thanks again for watching.